Poland, it's part of NATO, you may know. And when you have a leader with a name like Donald Trump, who is a large Jabberwocky like creature who never gets any exercise and likes to eat KFC grease and pretty much sucks at everything he ever does, from presidenting to marrying to bankrupting to whatever, you kiss Vladimir Putin's ass to the point it gets so red that he thinks he can start sending drones over Poland too.
President Trump with a pointed question involving Russia and Vladimir Putin after that scramble in the sky over Poland. President Trump asking what's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones. The images tonight, Poland and NATO scrambling fighter jets to shoot down those Russian drones. Poland, of course, a member of NATO, all nations defending each other. Tonight, Poland says multiple Russian drones were shot down. A home had a drone crash right through its roof. So after this Russian move, tonight, President Trump posting online, quote, "Here we go."
This was inevitable. My God, Poland, what they've been through, being between Russia and Germany. Bad place for a country. Montana's open, in any case. That's not a good sign. That's what I would call a bad sign. And that's, we're not saying, hey, it's World War III. But important to note the fact that if they are already making that mistake, when's the first mistake? When they bomb stuff. When's the first mistake? When their bombers just sort of lose track. Oh, crap, we hit the Sudetenland. Ring any bells, anybody? This is how they do it. They encroach slowly on your territory. Difference is that during World War II, FDR wasn't down on his hands and knees giving Hitler, that. I won't even say that here on YouTube, even though they would probably ban me. But hey, let's just say giving old Pootie a reach around in the corner. So that's what we have now. It's like when they met in Alaska that Donald Trump thought was Russia like 14 times, and I called it reverse. It was like a bizarro Yalta. Be like if we went to Yalta, but the difference was, with Stalin and Churchill, and if FDR had been there, like being like, yeah, Stalin, old Stali's got it right. Hey, let's just give him all of Europe. You want all of Asia too? So the situation we're in is quite seriously that Putin's testing us because we've got a weak wimp. And my theory behind all of this, we published an interesting piece earlier this week on our Substack about by our old friend Devin Ricci, who theorized that they are trying to get rid of Trump, and that is why you see so much about being leaked about him, because Putin, he's done what he can do. He's now weak and old. He clearly has heart disease. I wrote about that too. Sanjay Gupta said it when he saw what pill-popping Ronnie Jackson put out about him like 7 years ago, that within 3 to 5 years, he would likely have a heart attack if he didn't change his behavior. Flashing update, he did change his behavior. It got worse. He got 7 years older. So that was 3 to 5 years. He had a good chance of a heart attack. It's now been 7. He's older. He's fatter. He's dumber. He rage tweets more. Basically all of the behavior that 4 out of 5 doctors would tell you not to engage in if you didn't want to get sicker. And then there's the Epstein thing. And we're going to talk more about that as the show goes on, because that's a big surprise that we have for you here. When I told you that Republicans are freaking out, they're freaking out for good reason. And this has to do with elections. I'm going to get into specifically when David and Brett arrive. But key thing going on here is, would you want a sickly, like falling over, even imagine Trump further in dementia? I know it's tough to imagine. Would you want that Donald Trump in in a year from now to be the face of your party? And so what my friend Devin Ricci theorized, very interestingly, is because JD Vance has always been part of 2 groups. He is an Opus Dei lunatic like Alito and all the Supreme Court that are right now working on overturning our democracy. Those crazy guys whipping themselves in oh, come on, what's his name's book? The Da Vinci Code, right? They're Opus Dei freaks, and they like JD Vance because he's not the sloppy, idiot that Trump is. He's a loser and he's a right-wing nut, but they like that. Those are features, not bugs, whereas Trump is telling everybody what he's going to do out loud. JD Vance doesn't. So they like JD Vance because he's their kind of guy. And then there's the oligarchy, right? The ones like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk who think democracy is too inefficient. It's messy. We can't have great capitalism unless we have smarter, better, whiter apartheid leaders like Thiel and Sachs and Musk running things. And guess what? They pushed JD Vance too, because he went out there and kissed their asses. And he's part of that group. So he's part of the Christianist right and he's part of the oligarchy right. And Trump is the only one who had the right wing charisma to win over the lunatics and win, but they don't need him anymore. He's sickly, and there's the Epstein stuff. So maybe you want to move Trump aside and you want JD Vance to be your guy. That was Devin's theory. Numerous of us have theorized about where Putin is. The Zelensky thing, we've talked about this numerous times with all the drones, embarrassed the hell out of him. He's obviously pushing the boundaries now with Poland. And Trump is kind of, in a lot of ways, getting Trump elected, disrupting everything, co-opting the Republican Party and right-wing media. Like, he's kind of done what he can do for them. JD Vance, from the moment he was running for the U.S. Senate, came out and said right away that, well, I don't understand, why should I be on Ukraine's side? Why shouldn't I be on Russia's side? If everybody remembers that, there was huge uproar, and then he sort of backed it off. He's always been a Putinite. So if you're coming from the Putin angle too, JD Vance also makes a lot of sense. So do you want sickly old purple-handed, like Trump, right, with the cankles that have their own cankles that cankle? The cankle sore, if you will. Do you want that as the face of your party with the Epstein thing breaking? Because it is going to come out. We're going to talk more about that. Or would you rather have, a JD Vance at the helm who could try to distance himself from Trump, and then they can all trash Trump and say, oh my God, we didn't know about Epstein and he lied to us about his health. Interesting. Just saying that.